my channel, Future PMPs. Today we are going to learn about project charter, project management plan, and a few documents required for scope management. So let's dive right into it. Project charter. Project charter is the first document which is needed for any project right after business case has been created. Who creates it? It's created by the sponsorer and not by the project manager, because project manager has not been assigned, or the project manager has not started the work on the project. So let's go through what is project charter. Project charter formally authorizes a project and provides the project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. Like I said, project manager is yet not authorized. This is a document where project manager is authorized to take on the project. So it comes under initial phase. Checked out here, it comes in the initiation phase, right? The sponsor creates it in terms of initiating and approving it, while the PM often authors or co-authors it. A project charter formally authorizes a project and provides the project manager with the authority to apply the organizational resources to the project activities. Project statement or project charter statement or problem opportunity statement. So if you come across any of these terms in your exam, it means project charter. So keep that in mind. Now about project management plan. The project management plan is the single approved document that defines how the project will be executed, monitored, and controlled and closed, right? It integrates all the subsidiary plans like scope, schedule, cost, quality management plan, risk management plan, communications management plan, and all the management plans into one comprehensive document that serves as the roadmap for the project team. It is a primary source of information for how the project will be managed. Note, any of the management plans you see, whether it's scope, time, cost, quality, risk, any of the management plans, it answers the questions to how scope will be managed, how the time will be managed. The document states and describes in detail about how it will be managed. All right. With that, we have finished the project charter and project management plan. Identifying stakeholders, it is the name as it suggests. You identify the stakeholders, nothing much. Going on to the scope management plan. Scope management plan, you'll have project management plan. You'll have to create 4 things. Scope management plan, of course, that is the first most important thing for any of the knowledge areas. You will create the management plan for that knowledge area. So here it is scope management plan. You'll create the scope management plan. Then you will collect the requirements. Then you will define the scope and ultimately create a WBS. Let's go through each one of them in detail. So what is scope management plan? Scope management plan is nothing but, as I said, how you will manage the scope. So it defines how the project scope will be planned, executed, monitored, and controlled. Everything, all the processes, right? It establishes the procedure for how you will be creating the detailed project scope statement, how you'll be developing the WBS, that is the work breakdown structure, be validating the scope, which means gaining formal acceptance of the project's deliverables, right? And ultimately how you will be controlling the scope, that is managing the changes to the scope baseline if any changes comes in the scope baseline. In short, it dictates the rules and processes for managing what is and what is not included in the project. Next is collect requirements. Collecting requirements is a process where the project team actively determines the documents and manages the needs and expectations of all the stakeholders to establish the clear and measurable project and product scope. Requirements will be planned, tracked, and reported throughout. All the scope changes will go through the configuration management activities. We will talk about it in detail later on. But requirement prioritization process, for example, there are different tools you can use for prioritizing the requirements after you collect the requirements. We will also go through it in detail later on, but just to give you a reference of the tools we can use to prioritize the process, requirements process is Moscow. It is used in agile methodology. Another one is Kano, 100 pointer method, weighted scoring models, and these are the different types of tools and methodologies which you can utilize along the way. Now, what is defined scope? As the name suggests, it defines the scope, yes, but who defines it? How is it done? What all things are included? So the team develops a detailed description of the project and the product using the approved requirements to establish clear boundaries and create the formal project. Defining scope is done collectively with the team. Creating the project scope, project manager usually works with business analyst and the team. Why the business analyst? Because the business analyst typically does all the work like gathering the requirements, packaging it, and documenting it. So they have more insights on the requirements. You know, requirements help define the product and project scope and is being done at the predefined points. Right? This process details exactly what is and what is not included in the project, which is the foundation of all future planning. So this is a fundamental or foundation of all the documents. So it is very, very important to have a clear understanding document of the scope. Now, once we collect the requirements, once we know how we will be managing the scope, then then you'll have to collect the requirements, define the scope. Once the scope is defined, then you break down into smaller tasks or work packages. That's what we call in project management. If you're following a traditional waterfall predictive approach in your organization, you must have seen the WBS. WBS is nothing but the breakdown of the scope. It is a detailed breakdown. For example, here I've shown the IT example. If you uh, break down the deployment project, IT system deployment project, in a traditional or waterfall way, you'll have phase 1, 2, and 3. Under that, you'll have initiation and planning. It will also include the requirements gathering, project plans, creation. So basically, all the tasks, small tasks under each scope, it is divided and broken down into smaller pieces. This is waterfall. Let's see how it is done in the agile environment. Requirements are uh, broken down, um, and a list of requirements is created, which is known as product backlog. Here you can see it is an example of a product backlog. Product backlog is nothing but a prioritized list of requirements. So highest priority items or tasks or user stories comes on the top, uh, and as you go down, the requirements or the priority is less, and also it is not that clear and not planned in detail like the waterfall approach. So I hope you guys are clear on this. If you have any questions on any of these, please comment me down below and I will try to answer all your doubts. So I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.